Welcome back to YouTube to another Training Thursday. This week I'm going to be talking about bunging systems. Now this is a technique as a plumber I would say you must learn. It'll save you so much time when it comes to changing components on heating systems. So I'm going to explain what bunging a system is, how to do it, but I'm going to show you two real life examples where I've been out on jobs, done this technique, it's worked and it saved me a lot of time. Let's get into it. First thing I want to show you is the bunging kit. Now the one I've got is the region one. Now this comes with a nice little bag, two bungs. It did come with a bleaky, but I don't know what's happened to that. And also this clamp as well that you can use. So two bungs, clamp, that's all you need to bung a system. Now in the olden days, right, they used to use a carrot and a potato. Carrot for the cold feed and a potato for the open vent. I bet somebody watching this says, yep, I used to do that. Well, do you still do it? Bit weird taking vegetables on salt, yeah. Anyway, let me show you how these work. First of all, let me explain what you're doing when you're bunging a system. So effectively, what you're doing is creating a vacuum. So you're blocking off any open ends and any feeds into the system. You got to remember, if you've got automatic air vents on the system, you must close these off, else the bung will not work. If air can get in, the bung won't work. So where do you put your bungs? Well, you can have something called an expansion pipe. I will do a diagram in a minute and show you that. But basically, your expansion pipe, normally it's 22mm pipe. Your bung will go over the end of the pipe. Now it can be a little bit stiff sometimes to get them on. So you just got to give it a good push, get that on. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be pointing into the tank like that, so we're going to make sure that doesn't fall off. I'm guessing that's what the clamp's for. Have I ever used that clamp? No, I haven't, but you use it though. I'll do the same, not as I do. Anyway, that's the open vent. The cold feed, 9 times out of 10, will be on a 15mm pipe into the tank. So you get your other bung, you put your hand down into the tank, you get, the water's not going to be nice, it's going to be cold as well in the winter, but you put your hand in and you push the bung into the feed as firmly as you can, because you need to make sure it will stay in there. And that's it. That is basically a bunging system. That's how you create the vacuum. Let me show you on the diagram, probably come a little bit more clearer. So on the diagram, I've just done a header tank. So we got, starting from left to right, we've got the expansion pipe, we've got the header tank itself, the mains coming up here, feeding the tank on the ball cock, overflow pipe and a cold feed pipe. So when you come to bung a system, your one bung goes off the expansion pipe, as I've just showed you. Then once that one's on, the other one goes into the cold feed, just like that. So one over the expansion pipe, just like that. Then the other one into the cold feed, and that's it. Bunging a system will take you as long as it takes to get the ladders off the van, get in the loft, find the header tank and put them in. It'll literally take you, what, 5-10 minutes? Save you hours. Sometimes you're going to come across a cold feed, this one here, that's in 22mm, and you won't have this part here. There'll be no expansion pipe. When you first start, you think, why is there no expansion pipe and this is going to blow up? Well, no. If that cold feed is 22mm, you don't need an expansion pipe. I've been across a few systems now where that feed was 22, it's deemed enough for the expansion of the water to go back up the cold feed. You can just put your bung straight into there and that's your bung done. It's just stopping any water getting into the feed. Now I'm going to show you two examples now of jobs where I've bunged the system. It's important to remember, once you've bunged the system, you must take the head of water off the system. It's not going to magically stop the water coming out. You will get some water come out to start with, and then it will stop. But if you take a look at these examples, it'll understand it and become a little bit more clearer for you.
So this one we've got a problem where they've got no heating on a wire plant system. So the way they've been doing it at the moment is the manual override on the back. They've just wedged that open, putting the hot water on to get the heating on. We're going to bung the system and get that one out. Now, because it's an open system, normally you have to drain the whole system down and fill it back up. Airlocks takes out forever to drain. It's no good. Learn how to do this. You can bung a system. So you put some bungs in the tanks, it airlocks it. You get a little bit of water coming out and you can work on the system. It saves you hours. So let me show you two. First of all, we've got to get up in the loft, see what we're dealing with. We want to find the header tank. Beautiful, right next to me. No board there though, so just take that off. I think there's no open vent on this. It's going to be a 22mm feed. Yeah. Oh, I love lopsided there. Especially one-handed filming. Whoa. Oh, secure. Okay. Right. Look at this lid off. Yeah, no open vent. 22mm feed. That's all you do. You just get your bung. So I've got a set of bungs here. You just ram it into the feed. If there's an open vent, like that on the hot, you put the other one over the vent. There you go. There's my bung into the open vent. Sorry, into the feed. It's not hot. It's freezing cold today. But yeah, bung's in. We're all ready to go now. Alright, so we've got a tail down underneath there, folding bucket. All we've done is crack this nut until it starts dribbling out. It might take a little bit of time, like 10 minutes or something, just to get the head of water from the bung to the valve out. Once that's done, it'll be absolutely fine. It'll be fine. Just don't open your bleed points. Leave them closed. So yeah, just gonna wait for that to drain a little bit, and yeah, we can whip that one off. Alright, so it's slowing down a little bit now. I've got plenty of coverage on the bucket, so I'm gonna go for it. If I just open that a little bit. Come on. Ooh, squirty. Let's go out. There we go. That's draining a bit better now. All the nuts are loose now. You can see that one's loose, that one's loose. And it should come away. There's a bit of water left in, so just make sure you're catching your bucket. Yeah, that one at the back. It's getting absolutely everywhere. Catch that bit of water. Bare foot's just coming out of this hot one, to be honest with you. I'll stop now anyway. Right. Okay. That one needs a bit of persuasion, so there we go. Just get the tap on my tap onto that. You should be able to twist and out. Come on. There we go. And we're out with the old. Let's fit on here one. Should be fine with the old nuts, to be fair. Should be get a bit of paste on there. There you go. Old nuts off. Just use the old nuts. Ain't all on. Now, some people say, oh, I'm just replacing nuts. Why? It's copper or brass, olive, and a brass nut. That will last longer than me. There's no problem with it. It does look better, I will agree, but we made a naming cupboard. No one's going to care as long as it don't leak. So yeah, we've used it. EPH mid position. It's all winding, ready to go. Folding bucket, doing its job, to be fair. That's Beer Plumber's folding bucket, Pete. I did say to him, I said, I'll get one, mate, but not at full price. Fair play to him. It is decent, to be fair. It's got the, you can mould it to whatever you want, so I think I paid 25 quid for that. A lot more expensive than the other ones, but it's bigger, it's got the strap, it's got the side pockets, and it's got like a drain down hose. See there? You put holes on it. So yeah, it's decent, to be fair. So yeah, all nuts and tightened up, it's all wide in. Let's go take the bungs out, make sure it all works. Bungs all out, no leaks around here. Happy days. Can you bleed that? There you go, it's bled. Let's bleed that. Bled. That's all the water we got here. Very minimal water. So I bunged the system, well worth it, saves last time. Better one. We'll go and put the heating on, make sure it all works. One thing I always do, blue roll. Blue roll will show up any type of leak, so I'm just going to pop that around the nuts. Make sure I've got nice dry nuts. Don't you come off that? No, it's come off that when I've done the bleed. So. Yeah. Yeah, we're all good. All good, no leaks. Happy days. The 3-pot I've used was an EPH. Now, it looks similar to Honeywell, doesn't it? And another one, I can't remember the name of them, but I think the cheap one, this is about 30 quid. Honeywell's like 120, these are about 80. They sit right in the middle, 5-year warranty on EPH. I've used loads of their stuff. So yeah, that's probably going to be my new go-to valve. We'll see how this one gets on. But yeah, I'll fit some of the cheaper ones and those failing. So I switched to Honeywell, but Honeywell's a bit more expensive. I reckon that's just a Honeywell with EPH brand on it. We'll see. So yeah, this is the old head. There's a latch most of the time on these. The old ones don't have it, but the new ones will have a latch. You can actually just replace the head, but this one's an all built-in one, so it's a completely brand new one on that one. So yeah, that is new diverter in. Let's pop that back on. And yeah, job done.
This one is a pump replacement. You can see this one, it's all burnt out and there's not a lot of room. There really wasn't. It's a lucky escape for the customer on this one. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to bung the system. This one is more like the example I showed you. So you got the header tank and you can see the expansion pipe on this one. So there's your cold feed. Push your bung into there and there's your expansion. Pop it over there and that is that one all bungs. And you'll see I won't get a lot of water out this system. There was a drain off on there, which could be useful if it actually worked. So I had to crack the nut on the diverter just to get some water out. It was the easiest one to get out. Now the pump pulled up a bit of a fight. With the nuts, if you're replacing them, just use a multi-tool, cut through it, then you can snap them. It'll save you messing about trying to undo them nuts. So I just did that for both of them. Flatten the screwdriver, give it a twist, and the pump will come right out. And it was a right sorry state this system was. So we had to use the same pump valves. Now these pump valves I wouldn't recommend. They just leak on the isolation valves, but because of the gap that we had, yeah, we had to use the same isolation valves. We're using the Wilo pump. Was it Velo? Not sure. We're using one of these. The reason I picked one of these up is because it'd be the same size as the old one. And to be fair, it was actually quite good. The wiring was very easy to do. You didn't need no tools to do that. Just pop them in, live, neutral, earth, and the cover just slid back up. And it was nice and easy to connect onto the pump as well. And setting up the pump, again, was very straightforward and easy. So, yeah, I do like them pumps. Now, that drain off that wasn't working, I was going to put front venting, but I didn't have one, so isolation valve, drain off. It will do the same job. It's what I had on the van. But what I can actually do now is purge the system. I can actually open that, let a bit of water into a bucket and get the air out of the system. And the water quality, it wasn't the best. Now at this point you've already guessed, yes, I have took the bungs back out. I forgot to film it. So I'll close off the drain off. And this is the first and last time these isolation valves will ever be used, I promise you. Because they will just leak. Them isolation valves always leak on them type of... So I do try and avoid them type of isolation valves on pumps. Once I've got all that open, I'm just going to tighten that nut up because we forgot to tighten it. And just make sure we've got no leaks and pop the power on. Test the heating, test the hot water. Make sure everything's working okay. Yeah, everything was working great. Just checking around there for any leaks. And so this was a very, very tight job to do. Really tight. But yeah, set up the pump and that was the job all done. So there you go, that is bunging systems here. Hopefully that has helped you out. If you've got any more questions though, please drop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them for you. If this video has helped you out, give it a thumbs up. More importantly though, do me a massive favour. Click on that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but you'll get notifications when I do more videos like this. So it's a winner-winner. You help me out and I'll help you out. Well, thank you all again for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I'll catch you on the next one.